Indian markets continue to be on a roll. Benchmark Nifty 50 made a fresh lifetime high just last week, and Mount 20K is what everybody is watching out for now. Let's touch base with my colleague from the MC Pro Research Desk, Sachin Pal, who had predicted 20,000 levels for the Nifty 50 in September itself, just a few months back. The timeline perhaps is slightly delayed, Sachin, but definitely we are very much on track. Thank you so much firstly for joining us. And before anything else, I'd like to understand what's happening in the markets, because Nifty 50 index is more than doubled from the pandemic lows. The last time we spoke, you said market is ready for a near vertical takeoff, and that's exactly what has happened. Tell us what happens next.
So as you just said, it's been a truly wild ride for Nifty from 7,400 to right now we are sitting close to 18,000 at this point of time. So the last time that we talked about Nifty was around 15,000, and since then we have come around 20% on top of it. So my sense is that the melt-up still continues. The Fed still has a very benign stance towards the market. They're continuing with the quantitative easing that they've been doing across for the past 1.5 years. And as of now, the macro factors at play continue to post a very positive stance for the equity markets. So my sense is that the markets will continue to ride up, and 20,000 is just a matter of time.
Well, if we look at the broader markets, both mid and small cap indices saw a bit of a weak patch back in July and August. Bank Nifty has also been a bit of a laggard if we compare it to the performance of other major indices. Tell us, how has that impacted your initial 20,000 target by September 2021? And if you could also share with us, by when do you see Nifty now finally surpass the all important level of 20K? What is the new timeline?
So the way the markets are moving is that they have 3 to 4 months of up move, and then they have a longer period of consolidation. And the last time Nifty hit around 15,000, then it had a long consolidation of around 6 months on a broad level. And then it started the next level of up move. So we are right now in an uptrend again. And the Bank Nifty has been a laggard thus far, as you just rightly pointed out. And it's just on the cusp of another breakout. So what happens when you have a breakout is it tends to give moves around 20-25% on the upside. So right now the Bank Nifty is around 37,000, 38,000 at this point of time. So probably we can have another round of up move from the Bank Nifty, and that will again take the market higher, closer to 20,000 in the next 3 to 4 months. So the Bank Nifty has been lagging thus far, but it should take the rally forward. Even if you take the Reliance is like the biggest mover on the index with the highest weightage on the index. So that has also given another breakout. So these kind of moves can actually take the Nifty around 20% higher from current levels in a short span of 3 to 4 months actually. And the mid caps and small caps tend to rally once the leaders of the market continue to move up, and then the second stage they join actually in terms of their moves. So we can see the mid caps and the small caps also moving gradually from higher from current levels. There are a lot of valuation scope in terms of various sectors, so that also comes into picture. So that thing can play out in the next 3 to 4 months.
So then, which sectors should investors be watching out for, which will drive the next leg of rally?
So far, actually, like tech has been the clear leader of this rally. So the TCS and the Infosys have been like an uptrend for the last 1.5 years, and there's no stopping them at this point of time. Reliance again had a big move last year, and then it kind of flattened out for a brief period of time, and it's again gave a fresh move. So it's kind of a fan for the Indian index. And so tech and Reliance are going to continue to lead the. But what we see at this point of time is that we see a trend in shifting from low inflation to a high inflation regime. So within the overall basket of things, see the metal pack tend to benefits very strongly when you have a high inflation environment. And all the governments in the world are actually posing a lot of emphasis on infrastructure just to come out of this pandemic. So that also augurs well for the metals. And we've also seen a lot of money printing going in across economies of the world. So again, that is going to have an inflationary impact on overall all the asset classes. And metal is again like my preferred sector from that perspective. Other sectors which have been very long ignored, infrastructures, you see the likes of L&T, it has again close to its 52 all-time highs. Then you see the realty index have given very sharp moves in the last 3 to 4 months. You talk about any index, so the hotel companies are going moving up, and so it's going to be a very broad-based rally. But the sense is that the the companies which are linked to a high inflation scenario, which is the asset heavy companies, which are going to take the market forward and create a lot of alpha in the next leg of this bull run.
And finally, can you also flag off some key risks to this rally that investors should watch out for?
Yeah. So the broad consensus is that the third wave, the inflation, and the tapering are actually the three risks that pose to the market, that the bull market that we've been into. The tapering is not much of a risk at this point of time, as the Fed has already been talking about the tapering since around March. So it's been already 4-5 months that thing has been playing out on an investor's mind. So that is out of the picture at this point of time. The biggest risk actually for the market at this point of time is inflation. So inflation is bucking up across geographies, across countries. So if you see the US CPI inflation numbers, they are close to 4.5%, 5% at this point of time. So that is the biggest risk that the market has at this point of time. So what happens in the high inflation scenario is that the Fed actually cannot continue pumping in the liquidity into the system, because if you pour more fuel onto the fire, then it again overshoots the inflation, and then it curtails their ability to basically control things and the financial system. So that is the biggest risk. So investors should actually keep a very close watch on the inflation numbers. If it starts shooting up to say like 7-10% in the next 3 to 4 months, that can actually pose a very big threat to the rally, as the Fed can actually take a U-turn from what they have been saying across in the last 1.5 years. We'll continue to ease, and then we'll continue to keep the economy running. So that is the biggest risk. The other big risk actually comes from the third wave. So if the efficacy of the vaccine that we have always been factoring in, and the market appears very complacent from that perspective, as that we are going towards a normal regime. So if that kind of fails across, and then we have a higher than anticipated third wave, that can actually cause a correction in the market. So a crash appears unlikely actually at this point of time. So for the investors which are thinking that the markets will crash, markets can actually correct but not crash, because COVID was an unforeseen event, and that was kind of not factored into anybody's scenario at that point of time. But over the last 18 months, we've also seen how things and the risk associated with the different kinds of scenarios that associated with the pandemic. So that has already been captured into the different prices, and the recovery might take gradual paces, but it might be delayed, but we are gradually moving towards the normalcy. So that is the thing that investors should watch out for. Inflation is the #1 criteria that investors should watch out for, definitely.